Folks. In case you can notice, Bride of Chucky new poster. Welcome back to a new review and thoughts on Wish Upon, which is a 2017 horror flick. A little bit of drama, barely. I mean, it's basically, a modern day Monkey's Paw. It's directed by John R. Leonetti. I don't know what else he's done, or if I've even seen any of his other stuff. But yeah, the writing in this is not really that that good. I mean, it's again the Monkey's Paw. Basically, it's a 17-year-old girl played by Joey King, who's from the Conjuring film, from Slender Man, from Kissing Booth, I believe. I've never seen it. I know she's in that. But basically, 17-year-old girl discovers a magical box that will grant her 7 wishes. As she uses these wishes, pretty much for whatever, pretty much bad things start to happen to those around her. She discovers that an evil entity is living inside the box and will create chaos. This could have been a decent film. There's been, again, you look at Tales from the Crypts movie, 1972, Hammer film. There was a story where, I forget what the name of that one was. That was about the Monkey's Paw. It was basically, that one was told better, and the characters were a bit more likable. Well, at least the one guy, he was likable. The woman, you cared for her a bit, though she kept making wishes. But plus, that was way more. That wasn't gory, but at least I don't know. The music was good and it was shot better. I mean, this isn't shot bad, but it's. I mean, we're supposed to feel bad for the lead girl. Claire, because she lost her mom at a young age, witnessed her, kill herself, hung herself. We find out why. Of course, it's really in the opening. But, it's really not even a twist. It's really only a twist to the character, not to us, the audience. But maybe if you haven't seen a lot of movies, then it'll maybe be a big, oh my god moment. But no. But yeah, and then it basically, this girl, Claire, she gets bullied at school a lot. She's embarrassed by her dad because I don't know what he is. I guess he goes through garbage or hunts for junk. He's like a hoarder of junk in the house, because he goes around town, around by her school, and goes through the garbage in front of her school, and she's embarrassed every day. And but I don't know, his character, I didn't mind. I liked his character more than I liked her, because she's supposed to be built as a sympathetic character, and at first you sort of care for her because she gets bullied, but then she has 2 best friends that have her back and have her best interests. But then she gets the box. Her dad finds the box through garbage and gives it to her for a birthday present. And she randomly, I don't know, they mentioned she's taking Japanese class or some. They mentioned something about her taking Asian class or learning language and arts maybe, or something. They mentioned how she can read Japanese. I guess she's learning how a little bit. I guess she was able to read already, some of that off the music box, because then she gets the idea of, oh, if I make a wish, and then she makes a wish. I forget what the first wish. Oh, the first wish is what you saw in the trailer, where she wishes the blonde mean girl to rot, literally. And that could have been interesting. A little bit of body horror, but we don't really get that much as PG-13. And the deaths in this, I gotta say, they suck for a PG-13. Like, seriously, like, they're not good. I mean, they're not gory. I get it, PG-13, but come on. Like, I mean, one potential death, or not even potential, but one was going to be potentially dumb. It was some off a Final Destination, the first one. I swear, like the way it was shot and orchestrated, and then it didn't happen. And then they try to psych you out with one death, but then it ends up being a stupid way of just one woman's death, where her ponytail gets stuck in the garbage disposal and I guess snaps her neck or whatever. And then apparently her body was like that. I don't know how long time goes in this movie, because I guess it's been days, or possible I believe it must have been days, because nobody seems to know this woman has not been coming out of her house for a certain amount of days. Okay, and then, but yeah, our character Claire, she wishes for one girl to rot, and then she wishes for one of the mean girls' boyfriends to like her, fall madly in love with her, and then I love how that de-escalates after a scene where you find out he's the one that's been sneaking into her room, taking pictures of her while she sleeps, and pretty much what happens with him is so abrupt. It's like so silly, because I mean, it's not silly, but it's like the I don't know where I'm going with this, but basically he sometime later he breaks into her house, and while she's sleeping he sneaks in, has a knife. He's like, if I can't love you, or if you don't love me anymore, or we should be together in death or whatever, forever or something. And he like has a dagger, knife, cuts his wrist, and she screams. And then the next shot is literally him on a gurney in the ambulance. And then I'm like, so I guess attempt of possibly murder and breaking and entering. But then I swear he ends up oh well, I guess because she got rid of. Okay, so because pretty much the rules of this music box is if you have to wish for 7 wishes, and then you die. I forget, either you die, or I think the demon that's inside of the box takes you at the very end or something. But then the way to get rid of the box is either abandon it, or I think sell it. I swear there were 3 ways to get rid of it. I guess bury it, sell it, or abandon it. She literally, like, her first thing to get rid of it is to throw it in the trash, but then she doesn't want to, because she wishes for popularity, wishes to be be rich, pretty much wealthy. And then of course people die around her. One of her best friends ends up dying, and then she still wants to wish for more stuff, even after the person that her one potential boyfriend guy, who's actually a decent guy, but then he, towards the very end, granted, he doesn't die, which I was kind Okay. But then the end credit scene is like bull. So then it's like, you get a F. Because this movie, it had potential. It had potential. And I love how she wishes for like her mom to come back, and she does. But then there's these two other kids that are like younger than her. I'm like, who are they? Because they don't specify who they are. It's like they don't even notice these other kids there, really. It's like two blonde kids. Like, is that supposed to be her in child form, I guess? But then we see the actual Claire that's still like modern, but I didn't understand that. But I love how the mom, I assume, because then she goes to run outside after she realizes the mom killed herself because of the box back in when she was younger as a child. She witnessed her mom hung herself. That's why, because she wanted to stop the curse from affecting her family. And then, of course, we can learn the history of the box and whatever. But I love how the dad, he dies. Granted, from a chainsaw, but we don't see it. We just see blood splatter because PG-13. And they killed the best character in this movie. I actually liked her one friend, the black friend played by, I think, Sydney Park. He was on that show, The Perfectionist or something. Or a spinoff of Pretty Little Liars, which I think it was a decent show, and then they just cut it off. We're not giving you a second season. But I thought she did pretty. I liked her. Her character. She was spunky. She was combative with the mean girls. And like this character, Claire, like she doesn't really have an arc, and which really sucks because like she realizes like the box. She's like, even when she tries to get rid of the box, or even when the box goes missing, because I guess her friend stole it. Somehow I guess her best friend, who witnessed the other best friend die, I guess that friend, who was the more understanding friend, I guess she decided to go in Claire's house at one point, find where she kept, I guess she showed her where she put it, but I guess she went in her house, stole the music box, put it in her locker, and then Claire finds out it was that girl that stole it. And then they fight in the school, and then she almost kills her friend, pushing her down the steps, or knocking her down the stairs. And then she's like, I need to keep that box. I need to keep the music box. I just won't make any wishes. She's like yelling at the Asian guy. I forget his name, but I didn't mind him, Ryan. She's yelling at Ryan because he's like, come on, Claire, you can do this without the box. She's like, I need it. I can't. My life is so much better with it. Like, she's like, I just won't make any more wishes. That's all. I'm like, oh, I do kind of like the idea of this box sort of controlling a person to possibly make a wish or be addictive to making more wishes, or just keeping it near them. I don't know, like it's beckoning like you to make a wish or driving you insane or something. I don't know, I like the idea of that, but they don't really explore it. There's only that one scene. But yeah, I love the part where her dad dies, and the mom who she wished back from the dead, she comes back, and she goes outside, I guess, because she sees her dead husband on the lawn or whatever. I love how, I wonder where the other neighbors in that neighborhood, I wonder what they think, or what their mind is going. The fact that they see a dead man already on the lawn, and then they see a dead woman running from the house, who, I'm pretty sure that neighborhood knows that girl's, mom passed, but here she is running outside, frantic, that her husband's dead, I guess. Or not guess, and I'm like, I want to know what those people's, can we see some of their reactions to this? But But yeah, even when Claire knows people are dying after she makes wishes, she still continues to make a wish. And I'm like, screw this girl. I tried to have sympathy for her, but no, screw her. And then even when her best friend like takes it off her hands, you know, and even that's questionable a little bit. But then I trust her best friend, the other best friend, more than her, because possibly she wouldn't make the same mistakes. But then Claire's like, after she finds out her mom, encountered this box, she's like, I wish this never happened, or I wish today I was, or I forget how she wished it, but pretty much she wishes everything went back to normal before her dad found the box. So then she goes with her dad to find the box. She puts it in her bag, goes to school, talks to Ryan, tells him to bury it, because I guess she can't do it on her own, which I'm like, I don't know why you need him to do it when you can do it yourself. Like, when you're alone, just sneak out at night or something, and, I don't know, go off to the cemetery or something, or go throw it in the river. I'm sure your town has a river. Do like what they did at the end of Jumanji. Just throw it in the river, or in the ocean, or whatever. And pray it don't wash up on the beach. I guess she didn't see Jumanji. The classic one, not the stupid new one. But man. But yeah, pretty much she dies. So it's like, what was okay. And I made a joke right when that was gonna happen. I was like, and it's choreographed, sorta. It's like the way she was walking. Because she's like, talking to Ryan for a minute, and she's like smiling at him, walking backwards. I'm like, I bet she gets hit by a bus. And nope, it's actually the main blonde girl. It hits her, and then I guess she bounces. Literally, she like flies back after she gets hit by this car onto another car, and I guess is dead automatically. And then the movie ends, and then it cuts. And there's a post-credit scene as if it's a MCU movie, where it shows Ryan about to bury it, and then he opens the backpack and sees, oh, if I make 7 wishes, and he's looking around all like as if anybody's around. Which I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, it's not, like, who cares? And then it cuts to black, and then it goes back to the stupid credits. And then I'm like, screw this movie. So, I mean, the acting, again, is not bad from Joey King. She's pretty decent in this. Everybody else is fine. I just didn't like her character by the end, or midway through the movie. I like the dad more, because he seemed like a decent guy. His way of grieving, I guess, is a bit odd, but harmless. Sorta. Was a bit unhealthy, but sort of. But yeah, I liked his. Even his character was a little bit tainted, because then she wishes for him to be normal, which I guess he doesn't do garbage anymore, and he's like a musician, because he used to be, I guess, a musician when the mom was alive, but then he stopped because she died. But then I was like, I liked the dad more than I liked the daughter. Like we should have. I would like to have, I don't know, followed him instead. Maybe have the movie focus on him, and then the black Sydney Park or Park. Those two people, and the Ryan guy, and the other best friend of hers that's more understanding. Those 4 people, I would have rather followed than Joey King's character Claire. Again, unlikable midway through. knowing people are dying as you're making wishes, and then you want to cry about it, and then you're still selfish about it and be like, oh well. And I love her reaction when that popular guy she wishes to be madly in love with her. He shows her, or she goes through his phone, notice that he takes pictures of her daily and nightly, and then she's like, "What's wrong with you? We're done." I'm like, "Hello, did you not? You know why he's like this, right? Like it's not rocket science. You're not a blonde." But, you know. But yeah, she, like, freaks out about him being all stalkery and creepy, even though you wished him to be that way. I'm sure there's better movies that actually do the Monkey's Paw better than this. Watch Tales from the Crypts, 1992's Hammer version. Way, way better. And it's shorter. And it's, I find a scene creepy in that where the guy is on the motorcycle and he has a skull mask. I guess he gives the guy that's driving a heart attack at the wheel. But yeah, I couldn't, I don't know. Like, I saw people were crapping on this movie when it came out, and I was like, oh, come on. But then I see it, you know, a couple years later, it's like, oh, I get why. Because there's, like, potential here, but they don't really go about it. And there's even, like, the history of the box. Like, they talk about it, and they mention, like, these other people that own the box. But they don't, Jerry O'Connell, like, in a random cameo, they do a flashback of his character, because he owned the box. Well, I guess his character, died somehow. I guess he stayed in a room, or he locked himself in a room. Or no, I guess the demon burst into his safe house room or whatever and took him or something. And then they mentioned how his house was like a few blocks from hers, and they never bothered to visit that place. I mean, I guess why would they? But I don't know why you even mentioned that his house, his residence is near your residence, but then you don't really do anything with that. Okay. Yeah, this movie sucked balls. I would say avoid it. Do not watch it. But if you will, watch to laugh at the stupid deaths that are barely worth anything. Even, like, Sydney Park's character, like, her death in the elevator with the glass sticking out, and like, that's not as good, that's not even really gory. That wasn't even really a good looking death. So, Aftermath. But again, PG-13. They can't show but so much. Please give this video a like and comment if you can or willing to. Thanks for watching. Take care.